All right, everybody. Good afternoon. I hope you guys are doing well today. And we've got some more Seattle Seahawks news, some actual roster news as well. No, we haven't made a trade yet. I think that some Seahawks fans are starting to get a little impatient. They're hoping that something gets done in the next day or two here. But for the moment, the Seahawks have been quiet as of me recording this video in terms of making a trade. But we have added another player to the roster potentially. And this is certainly worth noting because I don't know how much excitement there is around this player at this moment, but he does play a position that the Seahawks could really use some assistance in. So let's talk a little bit about Christian Haynes because his practice window has been opened, which means sometime in the next couple of weeks, there is a chance that Christian Haynes could play for the Seahawks and could even start for the Seahawks. Back in 60. All right, guys, let's take a minute so I can tell you guys about Sleeper. I'll tell you a little secret as well. It's more than just a platform for fantasy leagues. This year, millions of users have enjoyed playing fantasy sports on Sleeper, but there's so much more to it. You have live stats, real-time updates of all stats. You have a news feed with lightning-fast updates on players and teams, and a real-time chat where you can engage with other users about plays, performances, games, all kinds of stuff during the sports season. So download Sleeper, experience it for yourself, and don't forget to use my promo code SBN to get up to a $100 match on your first deposit, and pair that with their new promo that will give you a free $20 entry, no deposit needed. So you can use both of those promos. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states and going. So check out Sleeper today and use those promos. All right, welcome back. So let's talk about what that means exactly. We've got the tweet from Nemhauser here. Saw this from other sources as well. Basically, the Seattle Seahawks have 21 days from today to watch Christian Haynes practice and make a decision. At any point in the next 21 days, they can either activate him and put him on the 53-man roster, which means he's now on the team and could play on Sundays, or they decide, no, we don't think he's ready to play yet, and they place him back on injured reserve, which would end his season. So this is basically the 3-week window that will determine if Christian Haynes has a chance to be a part of the 2025 Seattle Seahawks. So important 3 weeks here. Certainly no guarantee that he's ready for this game, by the way. In fact, I would expect probably not, but certainly interesting. Now, obviously, Christian Haynes, let's talk about the facts a little bit here. Christian Haynes, he was a third-round pick just a year and a half ago. He was a good player in college. I was excited to get him. A lot of people were excited to get him. There was a lot of optimism there. And then he actually started playing. And I think we've seen some real problems. He doesn't seem to have, excuse me, he doesn't seem to have the strength to be able to do the stuff that a right guard needs to do in terms of run blocking and handling like nose tackles and one-techs. And while I do think his mobility is good for a right guard, he doesn't seem to have the all-around agileness that you would want from a left guard. And he doesn't really snap the ball well. So therefore, center is also kind of off the table. So over the last year, I feel like we've discovered that while he was a good prospect, there's not much he's bringing in terms of NFL caliber play. I mean, you look at last season, not that he played a lot, and look, it's a rookie season, whatever. He was really bad last year. 167 snaps, so it's not like it's 3 snaps. He played over 150 snaps. 48.5 grade. Not good in pass blocking, not good in run blocking. Like, not really anything that you can hang your hat on and point to and say, hey, this is a guy who is showing that he can be a good player in this league. And look, it's one thing if you're Anthony Bradford and you barely played in college and you're young and you're raw and everybody knows it. But it's another thing when you're Christian Haynes and you were what was it, a 4-year, 5-year starter at UConn, and you're coming into the league when you're 24 years old, you should be pretty close to a finished product at that point. You should be ready to be whatever it is that you're going to be in the NFL at that point. So for Christian Haynes to be this bad as a rookie was a bad sign. There are definitely players that I would look at and go, well, it's not really a big deal. Okay, that was a bad rookie year, but I believe that guy's going to get a lot better. In the case of Christian Haynes, I wasn't quite so convinced. And the training camp stuff, we heard bad things in training camp. We saw some pretty bad things in preseason. Then he got injured. It was a pectoral. He's been out since. I think faith in Christian Haynes at this point is pretty darn low. But I also think there's desperation to try something at the position other than Anthony Bradford. So at least he's here. Now, I'm going to say it again. I would certainly caution against anybody thinking that Christian Haynes is going to roll out of bed and be better than Anthony Bradford. I know that there's an assumption right now that anybody would be better than Anthony Bradford, and in some areas that may be correct. But overall, I'm not so sure. I think that Christian Haynes, the strength being so lackluster and so disappointing based on what I thought I saw from him in college, at times it feels like a little bit of a non-starter. And maybe Anthony Bradford has some stuff that is a non-starter as well, but we're not just trying to say, are you on the same level of an Anthony Bradford? We're trying to do better. And I could see Christian Haynes being just as inept as Anthony Bradford in a slightly different but nevertheless crippling way. I mean, one of the big reasons why we want to fix this, why we want to fix the right guard spot, is so we can run the ball better. Well, honestly, Christian Haynes is, if based on what I've seen, he is probably going to be a worse run blocker than Bradford. If you're putting Christian Haynes in that spot, you're hoping that he improves as a pass blocker over Bradford, and that may happen. That is on the table. I think I could definitely see Haynes being a better pass blocker than Anthony Bradford, but that's not really the trade-off I'm looking to make, honestly. This is a team that likes to run the ball. We are near the league lead in rushing attempts, and we are near the bottom of the league in passing attempts. So I don't know. I hope that something radical has changed over the last couple of months. But based on what I saw from Christian Haynes last time I saw him play football, I'm not convinced that he is, and I can't believe I'm saying this, I'm not convinced that he is an upgrade. And I'm still thinking about that trade market, trying to find somebody on the outside that is better. So, obviously, it's welcome news. Because we need to find out one way or the other, right? I mean, this guy's in the second year of a 4-year rookie deal. We need to find out. We need to figure this out. And the only way to figure it out is to get him on the field in practice, get him on the field maybe in games, and see what he does. But I'm not super optimistic here. And I was a big Christian Haynes fan when we drafted him. I loved him before the draft. But everything we've seen since he got here has been very concerning. It had gotten to the point where I was hoping that he could maybe move to center, but he's shown that he's not ready to do that either, and he may never be. All right, let me know what you think down below. I'll see you guys later. I'm going to make at least one more video later today. We got an injury report coming. See you guys then. Go Hawks.